Alright, so we're back into another Dragon Ball Super card game video. This one is going to feature a deck profile in person. Wow, I haven't done those in a hot minute. This one features definitely probably my... okay, I'll be certain on this one. It is definitely the second favorite deck slash archetype out of the whole format right now for me until I find something new. But outside of Demigra, this is definitely my favorite. Before I begin, definitely go check out right here as far as my previous videos. I've done the national vlog. I've done a number of other decks as far as nationals go. I did a couple other things here and there, but please go check those out. I know they're a little bit different. I know they're not decks. I know you guys come for decks, but at the same time, please, they're pretty fun. Of course, join the Discord. Use the TCG player link in case you're trying to buy any of the stuff that's in this deck as well. But let's kind of start this out. This one starts out with the probably the strongest leader, if not the strongest leader, since it just did win nationals. So I would say it is strong as any other leader, if not strongest or the strongest. I don't know what I'm saying. Either way, you know what he does. Attack, take a draw, take a life, take a draw, take a life, and then as well as untap anything after taking a life, draw one and tap one after that. This one features, of course, if you've seen in the title itself, these boys right here. This is the heart and soul of the deck. The only reason why I'm playing it, and the only reason why the deck kind of functions in the first place. I think even if you didn't have this, it'd probably be a pretty good deck. I don't play the 18 and as well as the Krillins. I don't know, even if I had them, I don't know if I would play them, maybe as a 2-of. I think this deck has enough 10Ks for it to sort of meet that criteria. Obviously this deck is pretty good on its ratios already. Oh, and full disclosure, I did take this to locals. I got second, only to lose to Mr. Top 8 now, Mr. Eric Ramirez playing Demigra. Oh, okay. Shout out to him. But you know, all the other matchups I played, Cade Shenron, Veggies, I played Androids Kyle, played Red Gogeta BR, played something else I completely forgot, but either way the matchups were pretty okay to test it out, and I think this deck is pretty strong as is. But the reason why this deck functions as itself is because of these cards, and you might be wondering what they are, and maybe even not, because I think this one did get top 16 in nationals. If you didn't see, or this archetype, I would say, this card, this one is a Arrival Green Yellow for green and yellow, basically. And it is 2 energy, which is quite a lot, but on your awakening turn, especially on their turn, you can get 2 of these guys out, especially if you meet that criteria, which in this deck you will. There are a lot of options, and it sort of centers around this and as well as their arrival. But when you play this card, you get to and when it is either when you play this card or when you switch to active mode, whether it's probably going to be this effect right here, in which you take a life and untap it. You choose one battle card equal or greater cost and KO it. So if you're rivaling versus a Mirror Champa or something that's a big boy like a Dark Banisher, and you have 2 open energy up, you get to go ahead and KO it. You do not draw on the whatchamacallit, on this effect, the first effect, but the second effect you do get to draw, which is you get to draw 1 card and then choose up to 1 of their cards and switch it to rest mode. Originally I thought this was a battle card, but because it's any card including energy, battle card, anything else that's in active mode, this is pretty good. I'm pretty sure it does count the leader card, which is one thing I did not get to use enough of. So if you're going against Shenron and someone's playing Shenron Post-Errata, I mean, there you go. I think this allows for a lot of crazy plays, not only on the offensive but defensive. If they're swinging and you know they're like you have to play something 20k or less, whether it is this deck or something else, you can go ahead and play this man. He gets around most counter plays. Anything that's 20k or less, he's a 6 cost. The only thing that really affects it is Champa. And the UI Goku, which, you know, if they do that, you still get the effect. You get to tap something down, probably their 20k Goku, or just draw off of it and then return to the hand, and you can just play it on your turn, or their turn. Well, on their turn, yeah, if you have the energy for it. And then anything else, I mean, if they're trying to do like a 4-turn play, anything, if you know you can take advantage of their swing, go ahead and play this man and do it. But like I said, if you are at 4 life and then you pass, you have 3 energy open. The best play is to go ahead and play this man right after, or on their turn, awaken and then play another one. And like I said, there's a lot of targets for it. One of the best targets people are kind of sleeping on is this card, which is the Golemite, and you've probably seen it with the old green Broly decks. I think they kind of gravitated away from it, from what I've seen, and just green Broly in general. But still, this one says when you combo this card during your turn, you choose up to one of your Broly cards, and it gains 5k for the duration in turn. What's cool about this is that it does include the leader. The leader is a Broly card. It doesn't say leader, or it doesn't say leader or battle card. It just says Broly card. With this, along with this, in which you untap and now it's a 30k, or you combo on top of it, now it's a 35k. If you give the 5k, but most of the time, since you untap and you kind of give the range of this Broly, that Broly, the 4-drop Brolys that we play, you have a lot of targets for it, and it meets the arrival requirement as well, just being a 5k green card. And it's just really good and versatile. Like, it's really aggressive. It makes it really good on the offensive, if anything. Which is the only downside to this card. It's really, it's a offensive card, not a defensive card. But now we have the other Brolys, which does technically include itself into the Golemite pile. But this one is Broly preparing for battle. What this does is that you play it from 1 green, you KO something 1 or less, or energy cost of 1 actually, and you activate main. You pay 1 green or 1 yellow, not a green, because you pay for 1 green and you play a yellow. That's why it's a green yellow deck. You know what I'm saying? And then you choose 1 Broly card of energy cost of 4 in your hand and to play it, and you return this to hand. So it's basically a Broly swap engine. This is really good at 4 because you do see enough targets for it. I think I've seen a lot, and if I had to make any changes, I actually would switch up. Maybe I'll add a couple more targets actually, just so I can have more yellow, but I'll go into that a little bit later. This one is pretty cool because you get to KO something pretty early, and then if you charge a multicolor the turn before, which is good, it's not really needed, but it's good depending on which matchup you're going against. If it's something that you know is going to be a turn 3 or 4 deck, you want to charge a multicolor early on, so that way you can go ahead and Champa them or Vegeta the Cruel them. But for this one, like if you charge a multicolor and then you charge a yellow right after, or charge a green, then this is going to be live pretty much any turn. And it's a good turn 2 play. I really don't mind it at all, because now you get to have these guys, in which this one is the Broly rushing 4th. It is the 4 cost, in which has 20k critical. You really just use it as a 20k 1 cost body, because technically this one is a 1 cost. You can play, you can charge your 1 green and then turn 2 charge a yellow and then play it right into it, and it's just one yellow energy right then and there. But again, 1 cost 20k 4k, or 4 costs for 1 20k critical is really good. If you really want to play the 7-drop, I wouldn't say no to that. It's just adding more 10k to the deck, in which I don't really like, because you want to have the 0.5ks in case you don't have these on board or you can't use them for whatever reason, and then you can just go ahead and combo these out along with your yellow card, or yellow cards, or yeah, there you go, for arrival. You know what I'm saying. But if you want to play the 7-drop, it does work in this deck. It does not require a green Frieza leader. This one is the other target. This is probably best at 4, simply because for this card, it does negate the auto effect for that turn. The next turn, you can use the auto effect. The auto effect for this one does not matter. But for decks like the Migra, decks like anything that's low cost like Pan, that want to build up the board, the activate battle is still live, in which you can swing with it, activate battle, and then go ahead and pop something that's 3 or less. So it still works on this one. You don't need the leader. The auto requires the green Frieza leader. So I think this is really good for early removal, which this deck does not really have. Removal. It is a 15k body, so it's pretty good. We do have the Wailing Spirit from the new expansion. This one plays out the 4 cost, 4 costs, and negate the auto effect. Just like the 1 cost Broly, you don't really need both of these auto effects, which is why I sort of set it out that way. It is another charge for multicolor. I think 6 is enough. If you want to bump it up to 8, I think that would be good too. Again, 2 of the Krillins will be really good. That's all I can really say about that. I've used it a couple times. It just depends on the matchup. And if you have no other plays and you have 2 open energy and you don't have a Broly, you don't have anything else to play, it's not bad. You can get this guy out for removal, or you can get this guy out for 2 energy and a 20k critical. And which, you know, if you have a Champa in hand, it's not too bad. 2 of this as well for a top 5, and look for any Broly. You can look for the 4-drop targets. You can look up the 6-drop target, and then the auto effect. The other auto effect does not go off, so you can't untap one if you get it killed. But it is good to rival fodder. So there you go. We do play some of the multicolor, you know, don't play the game counterplays. This one is the Champa the Trickster. You draw one on their turn, and then you rest something that's annoying barrier. It gets around deflect. You know the drill. And then we have the Vegeta the Cruels as well. One of the 2 of the best, I think the 2 best counterplays outside of UI Goku they can ever play. They're both 5 costs. I really wanted the Champas in there simply because I needed more yellow, and it just plays out with the multicolored cards as well. And I think these are really good. Like you'll have just energy open sometimes because you play the Brolys, you awaken on your turn or their turn, and you pass. Now you have 3 or 4 energy, and now you're just sort of sitting there just waiting with your Brolys and just sort of like pressuring them. And then on their turn, they just don't get to play. You get to establish 15k bodies, and by the time you get to your Fu or your Mirror Champa, it's game over. And then we have probably the best card for a Broly deck or yellow Broly deck out of the mag box, which is the Paragus the Forebearer. This one says, and whoever I played on Untap, you are completely wrong because everybody plays it the same way. You basically put this in your combo area. You're saying that your combo whether it's on defense or offense, and then you say, hey, activate battle. You place it in drop and you draw one. You can do it any time during the combo phase, as long as the combo is still going. The purpose for this is perfect rival fodder, and as well as to cycle through your deck. And I would say I have a lot of cards within my drop and get to cycle through. So, and just simply because of this card. So I think it's really good. Then we have 2 of the Fearless Assault Krillin. I think I see it like literally every game. It's kind of crazy how much I see this at 2, but it's really good. Like I think the yellow GT Goku that's coming out in set 8 might be better, just simply because Double Strike is just better kind of right now in this format. I personally like Krillin because, you know, you play the Champas, you have a Champa, just use it, you know. You have 2 energy, just use it, right? If you want to just go in and go more aggressive, it wakens you a little bit early as well. So if you take that life, you go to 4 on their turn with 2 energy, 2nd turn, 3rd turn, whatever it might be. You get to awaken and do the play that I was talking about before and establish the Brolys. And then we have the 1 Kobolus, too good, like it's just too good. I don't know what to tell you. And then now we have the negates. So we have 2 of these, 1 restrain. I might just cut that, but I don't know. I might play another Roshi. This was kind of useless throughout the game. I will say that versus Themigra and a couple others, I tapped down, you know, a 1 cost because of it. But that's really about it. If they swing the leader and then you tap down their Kikus, it's nice, I guess. But it is something for Janemba, Gogeta. I don't know. This one is the play from drop. You pitch a card right after that, and you send it to you out of the game, or you remove it out of the game. It does tap down a 1 cost as well. That's pretty much it. But I do play another Time Magic. So 2 Time Magic, 2 Roshi, and 1 Restrain. The 2 Roshi is for a rival fodder and as well as just another gate. So that way you don't have dead negates in hand. These 2 it's just because you'll have sparking pretty much throughout the game. It's no big deal. And it's just good against, I want to say Gogeta, but now it's just Post Errata. It's just like, 2 Champas. I just wanted to have the actual Champa because of the mag box looks so good. And then the Supreme Kai is just, you know, it's just whatever. This is the yellow Broly package, as John might say, and this is really all you need to know. Like this is the reason why you play the leader. One of the main reasons and why you win the game as well. And now we have pretty much the game ender or the Wincon that we have in the deck other than the 6-drop rollies, and as well as Mirror, I guess. These are the Dark Banisher. You'll have 8 in the drop by turn 4 pretty much every single game, as long as you're sequencing right and you're playing what you need to play. Paragus helps that, the Arrival helps that, Negates helps that, and by turn 4 or turn 5, which you'll get to that in this deck, definitely. He's just really good. Like, he's just super good. By the time you have Champa or Vegeta the Cruel or the 2-drop Broly's on Arrival or the 4-drop Broly's, you now have a lot of attackers in which they have to pitch one for any super combos or negates, and it's really good. And then lastly, we have 4 of the Jacko combos. If anything, you don't really need to play anything else. Jacko's just Jacko, you know what I'm saying? And that is pretty much the deck. I love it. There's only a few things I would change, which, you know, if you change any more than that, as in the 4-drop rest the card and permanently rest it or lock the card basically, in which you can play the 1-drop Broly into that card, so that way you have more yellow and more Arrival fodder. Because I don't think I saw enough yellow in this deck in order to consistently use Arrival over and over again. I would say that's a major change. Remove this Restrain for Master Roshi. That's pretty much it. I don't really want to change anything else in the deck. If you do think of anything else, or if you have your own build, because I know this is different from the top 16. I took a look at that one after I made it, and I was like, oh, okay, this is different enough to post it, so there you go. But if you do have any suggestions, definitely let me know. I can't wait to make more decks for set 8 that's coming, as far as Bulma, Dr. Lilo, Goddammit Eggman, and a few other decks. If you have any suggestions as far as set 8, please let me know in the comments below. Subscribe if you are new. Join the Discord, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.